Hi there, Scorpio. Welcome to your tarot card reading for now. I used to do monthly readings for the zodiac signs, but I'm really feeling more inspired to just do the readings without a time limit on them. More of an energy reading as opposed to a prediction reading. And I must say that as I sat down to record your reading, I wanted to say hello, new moon in Scorpio. Now we're just about to have a new moon in Virgo. We've actually got two coming up, so there's a blue moon happening. But I don't know, your season, your new moon. Let's see. Any messages for Scorpio? Also, let me just thank you all for being here with me and watching my channel and sharing that you get something out of these readings. It really means a lot to me. You are consistently my most watched sign. You're the sign that watches my channel the most. And I really appreciate that about you, Scorpio. You don't always comment, but I know you're watching. That's the Scorpio way, isn't it? I get along with Scorpios, so I'm not surprised. Scorpio, energy messages for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Scorpio. New beginnings. Oh, I've just realized that many of my candles have burned out. I apologize for that. I do have a bunch of replacements here, but I'll do that after the reading. Okay, so you have dawn representing new beginnings. New, fresh, time to start fresh. It's a very hopeful outlook because it says, I know that when I wake up tomorrow, it's a new day, or even now, my day can start over at any time, but you're entering a new beginning. Generally in life, it feels refreshing, it feels hopeful. You know, you watch the sunrise and you're like, I've got the whole day ahead of me. It just feels full of potential. Scorpio, any messages for Scorpio? Thriving. So you're thriving. Your new beginning allows you to thrive. I know that many of you were thriving previously. I feel like for a lot of you, this is health related, relationship related, a new start. And things are going better than expected. They're going so well. You're not just living anymore. You're not just surviving. You are thriving, enjoying, living well, feeling energized, feeling present. That's really good. You deserve it. Scorpio. Any messages for Scorpio? Okay, Page of Pentacles. Messages for Scorpio. The reason you're having this new beginning is you recognize where something just couldn't progress. For whatever reason, there were some limitations in some area of your life. And once you kind of recognize that, you either need to change the setup so that it can be more conducive to results, or you just let it go and you stop giving it energy, you stop investing. Some of you were going through periods of emotionality. For some of you, the limitations were from these peak emotions. Three of Cups looks joyful, but it is kind of like a wheel of fortune of emotion. Like it's sometimes you're really good, but then later that day you could be weeping on the floor. So there's this feeling of, you know, you've seen the full spectrum of the feeling, and that can really stop us because it's exhausting to feel so much. And even though you can be so stoic, I guess, not emotionless, but you know, hard on the outside, that can be even harder because people don't see what you're dealing with. And of course, it's a part of self-protection. But there's a lot going on inside. And it's exhausting, and that's why you've had these limitations. Because you feel like you were I'm feeling like you were caught in a loop. And so you're exiting that now. You're getting off the ride, off the merry-go-round. Thank you very much. I'm ready to thrive. I'm gonna sit and stay right here where it's stable. And get off this ride. Messages for Scorpio. The Ace of Cups. Yeah, so we talk about that peak emotion. There's a lot of purge. You're really connecting to your heart space. Something may feel like a blessing in disguise because this loss may have enabled you to connect more to your heart space or connect to something in a deeper, profound way. It may have strengthened your transpersonal awareness, your spiritual awareness, your spiritual practice. Something was a blessing in disguise because it got you closer to the center. In the center, things come and go through the center. There's not one direction. The center goes in all directions. The heart, right? Coming and going. Marriage, the Three of Cups, I'm feeling could have been a wedding or something like that. The Page of Pentacles, though, it's just kind of like he's watching over it. There was something. Anyway, let's move on. We get the point. Scorpio. Nice. The King of Cups. That's you. Stabilized. No longer affected by all of that water, the emotionality, the ups and the downs. I see all that chaos, that turbulence happening around him, the commotion. He's not affected by it. He sits on his throne. He can rock with the waves. He can stay still, but he's not overwhelmed by it anymore. So that really tells me that you've healed from everything that's come before. You're making an effort to heal. For a lot of you, I'm wondering if this was related to drinking or some kind of substance. It feels like there was a lot of indulgence happening, which can also contribute. Sometimes we use those things to mitigate our emotionality, but often those things actually contribute to the instability. So I think you've reached sorry, I've still got a little bit of a cough lingering. Excuse me. Okay. You've healed. You're doing better. That's it. That's the message. Scorpio, any messages for Scorpio? There's the Five of Cups. So there's the acknowledgement of something that was sucking your energy, dragging you down, weighing you down. It can also be the indulgence, quite literally a hangover card. And you know, interestingly, we have the Three of Cups, and we also have this Five of Cups, where those three are now spilled. And there is time for grief. There's time for mourning. Healing and finding some kind of peace does not mean that we cease to grieve. Grief stays with us, but it changes form. And I feel like there's a lot of cups happening here. And I just want to remind you that you've got thriving and new beginnings. But of course, there's a lot to be worked through, right? That Five of Cups reflecting on what's lost. But I feel like it's more of an acknowledgement of what was inhibiting your life force. This was making me sluggish. This was making me slow. This job drained me completely, or my drinking left me with empty pockets. Like something like that. It's just acknowledging, once you, the King of Cups could be a therapist as well. Someone who's helping you acknowledge these things, and someone who is going deeper. We see this a lot where you go to therapy for maybe one presenting concern, but as you start to open up, they want to understand all these things about your past and your biology and your neurobiology and everything. And once they understand that, they're starting to ask these questions about your history, and you're like, oh, I had forgotten about that, or gee, I haven't thought about that in a long time, or I didn't know I was feeling that way. So there's kind of this, like, once you reach the healing point, you may find that you're still purging these emotions, or purging, just recognizing sorrow. And that's okay. That's all part of the process, right? It is all part of the process. And I feel like the dawn, the new beginning, comes after this. It's okay, I've realized once and for all, those friends are a bad influence on me, so I need to kind of figure out my boundaries or my own limitations. I'm pouring all my bottles down the drain. I am getting rid of these things in my home that are attached to regret, that remind me of when I felt like a failure. Like, just, you're getting rid of all of that stuff because something's really been lingering and just continually reminding you of, like, something needs to change. Like, for example, I would liken this card. You see how we talked about all my candles being burned out? Well, oh, that one is actually still going. Isn't that interesting? But, like, I'm going to have to replace those candles after this reading. I'm going to have to scrape all the wax out. If I don't do that, I'm going to be the Five of Cups. And I'm just going to keep coming in this room and being like, oh, I got to, clean that candlestick. Oh, every time I see it, it just reminds me. And I think you're making just generally better, like, that being said, you're making generally better decisions, healthier choices, habits for your life, where you don't procrastinate the dishes, like, you do them right away kind of thing, because you don't want to hurt your future self. You don't want to disappoint your future self. You don't want to, like, I'm starting to get hungry, but I don't feel like cooking, so I wait 2 hours until I'm absolutely destitute, and then I'm eating crackers for supper, right? Tackle something as it needs to be done. Do the dishes, right? Do the chores. A lot of this I see with people's homes, people's houses. Clean something up. Steam clean the carpets. Get rid of the stains. Clean the glass. Like, that helps how you feel also. Get rid of the upcycling projects that you're never going to do anything with. Get rid of those influences, the influences of regret or failure, as much as I hate that word. Like, get rid of those reminders. Like, oh, I feel bad because I'm never going to use that. Like, the sunken cost investment, the sunken cost fallacy is just because you've already invested, like, time in a friendship or a relationship doesn't mean, I was just talking about this with someone else the other day, it doesn't mean that it's good for you, and it doesn't mean that you should keep investing just because you already did. Sometimes people stay in things because they think, well, this is just how it is, or this is, my life now. It doesn't have to be that way. And I feel like you're going through this massive overhaul, I'm hearing. Scorpio. Yes, the Eight of Wands. Positive, uplifting. See how everything starts to take off after we move through that heaviness. I see Cupid's arrows. International travel potentially, movement, your higher self, communing with your higher self. Scorpio. The Seven of Cups. It's almost like some of you tried to watch the meteor shower, but it was cloudy out. Sometimes that happens. You know, sometimes you have a plan and other circumstances kind of get in the way, but I just saw something by Muji the other day. You are the sky and the clouds simply come and go. So don't worry about those clouds. The Seven of Swords. Okay, there's deception actually from someone here. Were you deceived in the past? Or maybe did you deceive somebody? There's some deception happening where it's very like smoke and mirrors. Like, I'm going to release this puff of smoke and then disappear and you won't see me. Let's get some cards on that. What's causing this confusion, deception? The Queen of Swords. Okay, so you need, I mean, there could be a person who kind of brings storm clouds with them. This whole reading could be about this person. They bring storm clouds. They just are not a good influence. A lot of you really need to let go of something though. Create more breathing room, create space, fresh air, physical space in your schedule, like a membrane. Imagine a membrane around every day or every hour. Like, have these pockets of free air, free space, free time. A lot of you need to release, purge, get rid of it, say goodbye. Just say goodbye. Are some of you publishing something? One more card. Card of advice for Scorpio navigating this. Nine of Pentacles. I feel like a lot of you have some good ideas for making money. This is not always a bad card. I like to see this card for people who kind of live on the fringe, people who navigate the world differently. Like, if you are an activist, or if you do a lot of research, or you like to act behind the scenes, you know, you kind of like to do things undercover. So that's what this card is indicating, you know, doing something undercover. Maybe you do need to go undercover to publishing something under a pen name. I don't know, some of you, this is someone you've already dealt with and they're reaching back out and you're like, no, just done. It's done. It's done. I feel like this is just right when you feel yourself improving, you get a little bit of that kind of Five of Cups still lingering, that feeling. Makes you foggy, just kind of hangs over you. It takes a long time to, and look at the synchronicity of that candle having just burned out. That is Seven of Cups. The smoke in the air quite literally could be a pollutant. Some of you may need to move to a more rural area, a place near the water. I mean, when you live near the water, you see a lot of clouds because the weather changes so much. A lot of you quite literally just need to be in a more open, excuse me, a more open place. Like, not so much in the city, living next to a highway kind of thing where there's gas fumes in your space, but a healthier, if you can, a healthier environment. Some of you are purging a job to pursue entrepreneurship, so congratulations. Remember, new beginnings and thriving. So you're thriving now. You become the Nine of Pentacles. You're living alone maybe, or even if you live with someone, I think you're taking a lot of pride in your home. Things are in control again. We come from that Five of Cups to the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, this is within my grasp once more. I've got everything under control. I'm feeling good. I'm managing. You're feeling good. But I do feel there's a need to express, to talk, to say something. I mean, Scorpio is not typically a sign that holds on to things. I find that Cancer does. But Scorpio is like, I don't like when you did that. What are you doing right now? Like you're pretty direct as things are happening. But I feel like for some reason, I don't know, someone who represents your kryptonite, your weakness, let's say, is kind of creating a bit of deception, and you need to liberate yourself. Get a change of scenery. Somebody wants to travel and see how people do things differently in a different place. I feel like you're kind of caught in something and you have to just wait to get to shore and then you can do your healing. I feel like these are the same people. And the King of Cups, like you're on a cruise, let's say. You're quite literally in the middle of the water. And there's nowhere to really go or hide or be alone. And so you have to wait until you reach shore to fully feel the purge. You know you're ready with the King of Cups, but you just may not be able to actually do it until you get somewhere and you leave it, you shed that, you let it go, and then you're off again. Is somebody going to lose their luggage? I'm not sure. It just, baggage, like symbolically, the baggage. I heard someone say, who would I be without my baggage? So that's quite profound. Who would I be without my baggage? Well, you'd be a lot lighter, actually. You might thrive. Are you afraid of thriving? Because the universe is trying to align you with that right now. I heard home birth for someone. Okay, let's just see if there's anything else we can pull out of this. So I'm starting off with my idea. I'm practicing, I'm trying to do something, but there were limitations. I'm having a hard time experiencing joy when I'm with people in happy moments because there's a sorrow that weighs on me, but I'm able to put on a brave face in the midst of those celebrations or those activities, let's say. And what I actually need is a change of scenery, because the same old stuff, it's like the same old stuff. Like, I think you're just, it's pretty deep, it's pretty profound. But a lot of you need a change of scenery to feel fully like you can move on. So yeah, I'm putting on a brave face. I'm connecting to my heart, which helps stabilize me. But it also comes with loss because, to take this opportunity or to follow one thing, I'm also sacrificing something else, and I'm, permanently saying goodbye to it. And that grief will follow me forever. But I've seen the light. I know that I have to do this. And it's okay to grieve. It's okay to take those moments. Some of you are grieving the loss of a person. Some of you are grieving a relationship. Some of you are, there's all different kinds of grief, but some forms of grief are not as socially supported as other grief. And that's where we get stuck, because if we're not able to process it, then we kind of continue to live with it, and we can develop more long-term grief symptoms like depression. So this is about saving your own life and finding a way to purge. A lot of you making healthier decisions, healthier choices. I want a better view. I want a better view. Let's get out of the city. Let's go look at the stars. You get like an office, you get a space, something that's all to yourself. So you end up with something more conducive. I mean, this whole reading, if you're even still watching, this whole reading could be, I can't work with other people around me. Like, I need to be in my own office to focus. And that's why there's so much of this kind of confusion around from other people. It's just, they're annoying. Shut the fuck up. And you thrive better when you're working from home. A lot of you getting opportunities to work from home, or maybe you just, again, go fully entrepreneur. You're able to quit your full-time job and do something full-time that's just you running the show. You're entering a new period of thriving, but it's not going to happen quickly. It's a new beginning, but it's step by step. So I'm going to leave that there, Scorpio. Thank you for watching. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch through email. I'll leave that in the description box. Just email me with your focus points, your questions, and I should be able to turn that around within 2 weeks. Yeah, hit me up. Love to hear from you. Have a wonderful time, because we're not doing it by the month. So I don't know, I just wish you the best, and I can tell this is a lot. It's deep, but relief is coming. Okay? So thank you, Scorpio. See you next time.